Hello, everybody. Happy Monday, the 20th of July. Owen Jennings here, your spiritual guide and divorce empowerment coach, coming in with the energies for this week from today until Sunday, the 26th of July. I hope you're okay. Hope you're doing well. I hope you're enjoying the summer that we seem to be having in the UK. Right, so there's a lot going on, and there has been a lot going on, hasn't there, in July? Um, According to the astrologers, and I believe them, this week is all about rebirth. So you deciding who you want to be going forward, but really, really believing it and really going for it. And we're supported by some amazing astrology. The planets really wanting to support us. And, I have been reading a bit about this. I think it's Barbault. I'm not sure. Barbault. I'm not quite sure how we say that. Basket. He was a French astrologer who talked about this um, basket of planets a long, long time ago, and he saw this alignment as a chance for community, a chance for humanity, to become more consciously aware. And different astrologers have different takes on it. So I'm just going to spend a few minutes explaining it as I understand it and how it kind of might impact you, how you might be feeling it, how it might show up for you, because really that's all I can do with my limited knowledge, but also with my intuition and my insight and what my guides have been telling me. Okay. So this basket is formed of 4 planets: Pluto in Aquarius, Jupiter in Leo, Neptune in Aries, and Uranus in Gemini. And they're all sitting at 4 degrees. And this has produced this, what looks like a basket in the skies. Okay. It's happening between the 15th and 24th of July, but yesterday and today is kind of the peak, 19th and 20th. And it's a lot to do with noticing how structures might be, as it's a collective energy, but as I say, it's also affecting us individually. And it's about noticing what's not working in the world now, what is actually crumbling, bringing in this new way of doing things, which has already been happening, but this is really highlighting it. So, Pluto in Aquarius is sort of exposing things and showing us where things need to be restructured. Now, this, as I say, is as a collective, but for you, I want you to ask yourself which structures in your life or community are ready to transform. So, what communities are you in? That can be social media, that can be communities offline as well. Are they supporting me? Do they need to change in some way? Are you running a community that needs to be changed? Okay, can you make it more aligned with who you are now? Okay. Aquarius, remember, is a very new age, so it is about doing things differently. And then we have Jupiter in Leo. Now, Jupiter is very expansive, and it's lucky. And Leo is all about, showing who you are, really backing yourself. So this is about growth and leadership, I believe. So generally in the world. And for you, I would ask the question, where am I ready to lead as myself? Like all of you, like really accepting yourself for who you are. And then we have Uranus in Gemini, which is kind of about innovation, but also, Gemini is very it's very intellectual, it has lots of ideas. So what stories and information needs to be updated? So what have you been telling yourself that's not actually true? Do you need to change the way do you need to change your own narrative about things? What information needs to be updated? So are the things, like if you're in business, are the things you've been sharing which are no longer in alignment? Do you need to change them? And then we have Neptune in Aries. And this is, how can I act? So Aries is all about leadership as well. Neptune's the dreamy planet. How can I act on what I believe? So how can you transform your beliefs into action? So it does feel very New Earth, if I know that's banded around a lot. It's about collective resets, as I said, and shifts in power. It's about, so for example, on social media, which platforms actually support you, which don't, which ones are you deciding, maybe I'll walk away from that one now, for example. It can be small things like that. It can be big things as well, It could be a relationship that's no longer working. It could be a job that's no longer working. It could be your business needs a refresh. It's those sorts of things. And it's a great time to be doing it because of all of these energies. All right. And then there's other things going on as well in the skies, which I don't fully understand. And they're asking us to stop sitting on the fence. Don't be afraid to disrupt the status quo. Really stand up now for what you believe in. Wednesday, we're moving into Leo season. As I said, that is, radiating your authentic self, believing in yourself. Don't forget, we're the only ones that can make the change we want to see in our lives. We can't wait for anybody else to make that change. So it's really important that we make it for ourselves. It also brings in, you may find you're questioning your self-worth, and that sort of thing. And of course you're worthy. You've done the work. Most of you here have done the work, and it's just now time to really solidify that and really step out into doing things in your own unique way and not following the herd. In my embodied intuition course, that's what I talk about. I talk about like self-trust. I talk about, you know, whose voice are we actually listening to? Are we listening to our own, or are we listening to those voices that have conditioned us? It's really important now. It's always been important, but especially as now, if you're somebody that wants to make a difference. Also, Mercury is going direct at the end of the week. So it's been retrograde for nearly a month now. Of course, there's a shadow phase where things still might be affected by Mercury being retrograde, but it is going direct. So there's a sense of clarity coming in and a real aha moments about where you've still been putting up with things. Where have you been the yes person when you don't really want to be? That sort of thing. It's really going to show you all of those things. I feel like there's revelations coming in as well. But I'm also feeling, this is all going on in the skies, obviously. But, Mother Earth has something to say as well. And she's asking us all to really ground our energies, to really be certain about what we want, to get clear about what we want, and to almost plant the seeds for that. So I talk sometimes about, tending to your Earth Star chakra. That's the chakra below your feet. And that's, for me, that's your own personal Garden of Eden. That's where you put all you plant your seeds for what you want. And you make sure you, every now and again, a bit like in your own garden, you go out and you take out the weeds or the things you no longer align with. Because it may well be that a few months ago you thought you wanted something, but you don't want it now. And that's fine. Okay. So it's all about really grounding in your visions, your beliefs, your values. What's changed for you over the last few months? How are you really holding yourself now? How are you presenting yourself to the world? How are you holding firm? even when it's not easy. So I know I talk about my embodied intuition course all the time, but you know, where is it that sometimes we don't follow our intuition, we don't follow it because we're frightened of, how we might hurt or upset somebody else. But actually it's not about that, and quite often we don't hurt or upset somebody else by following our own intuition. It can be hard following your intuition. It's not always the easy decision, but it'll always be the right one. Yeah. So yeah, so anyway, going back to the earth, sorry. Got sidetracked there. I really feel like she's coming in to hold all of this change. I can really feel her, like she's got her own basket situation going on. And she's like, come on, I want these new earth energies too. I want this all of you to be your authentic selves. I want you to be, following your dreams. And I am here to support you in the way that only she can, only Mother Earth can. So interestingly, to support this, when I pulled, a couple of cards from the Light Seers tarot deck, I got the Knight of Pentacles. So the Knight of Pentacles is probably the most hardworking knight in the tarot, and he's been studiously working away and planting seeds, as I mentioned earlier. And he's really, he doesn't mind the work. He enjoys the work because he knows, he can see his vision. He can see that if he carries on, eventually, it will pay off. And that's what I'm seeing here. But also don't forget, he's working with the land here. And pentacles are, yes, it could be money, but it's also general abundance, and it's very much earthy. This is seed by seed. The affirmation with this card is seed by seed, I plant my future. So we're not asking you, or the planets aren't asking you to change your life like now, this minute, because this basket is at its peak. But what they are saying is, come on, get those seeds going, really review, maybe do a new vision board if that's what you like to do. And then we have the Ten of Pentacles, which is beautiful. This is all about material and spiritual success, but it's also about sharing your success with others, because there's enough abundance coming in that you're able to share it out. And what more can you do apart from planting the seeds, reaping the rewards, which some of you will already be doing, and then sharing them out with the world? Like, even if it's just sharing something you've learned, or sharing an experience, sharing a wisdom, but this is a lot of abundance coming your way. And that's because a lot of you have been patient. This has not been an easy year so far. July has been off the scales in terms of the energy. And, a lot of us have been having dreams as well. Like, past stuff has been coming up to be cleared. And I tell you something, my dreams have been working overdrive. My subconscious has been like, come on, what else can we clear out? So it's incredible, really. It's hard work. I'm not saying that it isn't. I'm not saying that it's easy, but it's not meant to be, but it's absolutely worth it. So this week, I really invite you to look at what it is you are creating with your life going forward. What is it that, who are you? That is the question. Who are you now? Because you're not who you were yesterday or the day before. And who do you want to become, or who are you becoming? And as long as you're happy with that, as long as this version of you is being authentic now and is really standing up for what's right and wrong, because there's so much, as I talked about before, I've talked about many times before, misinformation out there, but really feeling into what's right and wrong for you, and you can't go wrong, So it's a really powerful week. There's things happening at the weekend as well, which, kind of bring all of this together. Go and have a look at Kirsty Gallagher's information, Alex Miles, people like that. They really know what they're talking about. And follow it, because I feel like it's really special. So yeah, I hope you have a great week. And of course, if you're a bit like overwhelmed, you're like, well, does this mean I've got to do things? You don't have to do anything, actually. The only thing you really have to do is just the words that come into me, like declutter and align with who you want to be. Like, so decluttering your life generally, people, places, communities, social media, maybe, and tidying up what it is you want to be involved in, or what, or if you're sharing things, how can you make that more authentic or more in line with what's going on in the world right now. But more importantly, remember how amazing you are, and that you can achieve anything. You really can. So have an amazing week. I will be back next week. If you need some support with any of this, then please get in touch, because there's various ways in which I can help you. And I will be back next week. Bye for now.